Hello, this is Bruce with Webucator. In this video, I'm going to show you a solution Kathy Kellenberger posted on the difference between range and rows in Microsoft SQL Server windowing functions. Kathy agreed to let us create this video showing her solution, which is available as an article on her blog at the URL shown here. For this presentation, I'm going to be using the AdventureWorks database and the sales order header table. I've already got a query written that you can see here in my query window. And from the columns that I'm bringing back, I'm using two windowing functions. I'm summing the total due in both windowing functions, and I'm partitioning currently by customer ID in both windows. The only difference is I have an order by sales order ID in the second column, and the difference in the result is this is going to provide me with a running total. So I'll go ahead and execute the query, zoom in a little bit so we can see the results, and we can see the difference between the two columns. Just by adding the order by, I get a running total value where the rows that have the same window in the customer total has the same value, so it's just a straight sum total. In other words, I've got a running total for the last column with the order by, and I have a overall total in the column that doesn't have the order by clause. So just the order by clause produces this result, this running total result. What's happening by default, we can see in my second query window, is the default behavior is because SQL Server automatically defaults to this range between unbounded preceding and current row, and that's what's effectively giving my running total. But sometimes this can be a problem. In the next query, I'm querying for a specific customer ID, this 11,300, and in addition to that, in my order by, I've changed it from a unique column to the order date column. Now what's going to happen is, in this case, the order date is not unique. So this particular customer has multiple orders on the same day, and we want to see the effect that this has on my summing, my running total. And this is where we might be surprised by the results. We execute this query, scroll down just a little bit in my result set, and then we want to zoom in. And one of the surprising results is when the order date is not unique, we've actually got we don't have a running total. We have the same value that's entered for the same day, for that order date. And that, again, is the effect of the range, or the default behavior, we'll zoom back out, that's being applied by the windowing function. This next query, I've actually added the syntax for the range between. So again, this is the default behavior if I didn't include typing it. And the only thing I've done is I've added another column, but this time I've added a rows, changed the range to a rows, which is not the default behavior. But when we run the query, again, we'll zoom in a little bit here at the bottom. We can see with the rows, I have a valid running total. So here's two orders on the same date. Oops, grabbed the wrong ones. Zoom back in again. These two orders are on the same date. So the ones that are using the range, the default behavior, I'm not really getting a running total, but the two where I've switched to the rows, I am getting a valid running total, which is more than likely what I'm after, what I want. So the behavior is caused by the fact that my order by here, order by order date, is not a unique column. So that's what's causing the range to not give me a true running total. In Kathy's blog, she describes it as the range being a logical operator, whereas the rows is a physical operator, and that's explaining the difference. Or another way to look at it, I've got another query window where I've added two more windowing functions. I've added rank and row number. And these are similar in behavior to the difference between the rows and the range. So when I execute this query, we can see where there's duplicates zoom down here at the bottom. Where there's duplicates, the ranking will assign the same number, and the row will always assign a unique number, the row numbering system. So the row numbering is much like the rows when I'm creating a running total, and the rank functions more like the range when I'm again working with a running total. So the takeaway from this is, if you want a running total, either make sure you use the rows and spell it out in your windowing function, or make sure that your order by is using a column that is unique. You can read more about this on Kathy's blog post, including the code that I'm using in the examples. And that's it for this video presentation. I hope you enjoyed it.